जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचरी यमुना तीर वनचरी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचरी यमुना तीर वनचरी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितानेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। जयति जयति देवो देवकी नंदनोऽसौ जयति जयति कृष्णो वृष्णिवंश प्रदीपः जयति जयति मेघश्यामल कोमलांगो जयति जयति पृथ्वीभारनाशो मुकुंदः। जगन्नाथ स्वामी के आराध्यो भगवान् प्रजेशतनय तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमपुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees and not assembled devotees also. All glories to everybody. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki और प्रेमानंदे। So that was easy part. Regardless, I would like to welcome each one of you and express my joy for you being here. And gratitude also for your presence. I think so, your resident devotees. We are just visiting devotees, but you are resident devotees of Vrindavan Dham Ki. So you are certainly very special devotees. So your presence certainly is highly appreciated. To do some bodhayantaha parasparam kathayanta shamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That's the Bhagavatam. Kaksha, the class, that's what we do, right? So, we're reading from Canto 10, chapter 82. We have quite a few verses to cover. It's going to be a little marathon. Small one, short one. So, text number beginning 20th, right? So, I think I'm going to, what else could be done? I will read all of them, the verses and the translation and the purport also, and then we'll talk. And if the time permits, you could also talk towards the end. That all depends on the managers. They do all the time management. Now, so let's see how I manage the time. Okay, text number 20th. So they are going to be there, right? So maybe you could even recite with me. Huh? We could recite together. It's another idea. Not a bad idea. Huh? It's good? Okay. Śrī Vasudeva uvāca. No. With me. You have to say with me. Let's begin. Amba māsmān asūyethā daiva-krīḍanakān narān īśasya vaśe lokaḥ kurute kāryate atha. Translation I will read. Śrī Vasudeva said, "Dear sister, please do not be angry with us. We are only ordinary men, plaything of fate. Indeed, whether a person acts on his own or is forced by others, he is always under the Supreme Lord's control." You agree? You have no choice. This is the fact. Just accept and realize this. Text 21. Let's recite together. Kamsa prapita sarve vayam yata disham etarheva punaha sthanam devena saditaha svashaha. I read the translation. Harassed by Kamsa, we all fled in various directions, whatever pronunciation. But by the grace of providence, we have now finally been able to return to our homes, my dear sister. Text number 22. Śrī Vasudeva Vasudevograsena yadubhister-chita nripaha asannachyuta sandarsha paramananda nirvrataha. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, Vasudeva is addressing Vasudeva. No. Ugrasen, no address. Vasudeva, Ugrasen, and other Yadus honored the various kings. And this is all happening in Kurukshetra. By now you know the context. Who became supremely blissful and content upon seeing Lord Achyuta. Lord Achyuta Ki. He's a center of attraction there. Krishna is there. Okay. Text number 23 through 26. Bhishmo Dronambika putro Gandhari sasuta tatha Sadaraha Pandavaha Kunti Sanjayo Viduraha Kripaha Kunti Bhojo Viratascha Bhishmako Nagna Jinmahan Purujit Drupadaha Shalyo Drishtaketu Sakasirat Dhamagosho Vishalaksho Maithilo Madrakaikayo Yudhamanyuhu Susharmacho Sasuta Baladayaha Rajendra Yudhishthira Manovrataha Sriniketam Vapuhu Shaure Sastrikam Viksha Vismitaha. We will not do the word meaning. All these words are included in the translation. Translation. All the royalty present, including Bhishma, Drona, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and her sons, the Pandavas and their wives, Kunti, Sanjay, Vidura, Kripacharya, Kunti Bhoja, Virata, Bhishmaka, the great Nagnajit, Purujit, Drupada, Shalya, Dritaketu, Drishtaketu, Kashiraja, Dhamagosha, Vishalaksha, Maithila, Madra, Kekeya, Yudhimanyu, Susharma, Bahalika with his associates and their sons, and many other kings subservient to Maharaj Yudhishthir, all of them, O best of the kings, were simply amazed to see the transcendental form of Lord Krishna, the abode of all opulence and beauty, standing before them with his consorts. Purport. All these kings were now followers of Yudhishthir because he had subjugated each of them to earn the privilege of performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. The Vedic injunctions state that a Kshatriya who wants to execute the Rajasuya for elevation to heaven must first send out a victory horse to roam freely, and any other king whose territory this horse enters must either voluntarily submit or face Kshatriya or his representative in battle. End of the verses, translations, and purport. Gaur Premanande. Now Hari Hari Bol. So, and the first of all, well, it's always going to be first of all, that well, for some reason, now I will also tell you the reason why. These days, Jagannath Swami ki. Well, aren't you also remembering Jagannath, who is not well? But we are getting reports that he's getting well, he's getting better. And in few days' time, there will be Netrotsav. You all had been fasting, fast from no darshan of Jagannath. So it's a very difficult fast. More difficult than Nirjala Ekadasi fast. You're not able to see how darshan of Jagannath. And then there's a Netrotsav, Anavasar, which is happening now and then. Netrotsav, Gundicha Marjan happens the same day in Jagannath Puri, other places also these days. And then comes Jagannath Ratha Yatra Mahotsava ki. So this is kind of Jagannath season. So many festivities happening in Jagannath Puri, so the whole world is thinking, at least I was also thinking of Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. And then I was thinking, could I, maybe during this Bhagavatam talk here at Krishna Balaram temple, I could talk about Jagannath. And then when I was shown finally what the verses, chapter and the verses that I had to deal with, I was delighted. And I thought my wishes are getting fulfilled. I could, and I must talk about Jagannath Swami ki. Probably you are wondering, where are we getting reminder of Jagannath here in all these verses? First of all, it's Kurukshetra and Hari Hari. Now this is where it all began, in fact. Origin of Jagannath Ratha Yatra festival has origin in Kurukshetra Dham ki. And Krishna becomes Jagannath. Well, he is Jagannath and he takes the form of Jagannath, and Balaram of Baladeva and Subhadra of Subhadra form from the Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Darshan. They took that form, Haribol, no sleeping. Is it allowed, sleeping? By order. Hari Hari. So, well, I think Krishna Balaram ki. And also, one time Subhadra also was in Brajamandal. She was born. Balaram is the seventh child of Vasudeva Devaki. Krishna is eighth one. Ninth one was a daughter, and that is Subhadra. So anyway, when a Krur comes, well, he had to come. He was asked to come or go to Vrindavan and bring that Krishna and Balaram. So that is what Krur, he did his duty. But he ended up taking Prananath of Brajabasis, Prananath of Gopis. And while Krishna was leaving for Mathura, he had said, ayase, few more words to add. He said, ayase iti dauttakaihi. I'll be just now coming. Gopis, I will be just now coming. And Dauttakei, he said, well, he did say this, but he passed this message unto the Gopis through a messenger, Dut. So then Krishna and Balaram are on a mission in, well, I want to go faster. I'm reminding myself. So whatever he had to do in very first few days, he did so. And Nanda Maharaj and cowherd boys and many residents, the gentlemen, ladies stayed behind. The men had gone to Mathura to participate in this Dhanur Yagya festivities. So when that was over, it was time to go back to Vrindavan Dham ki. And Krishna says, Gnyatin odrashtum ishamaha. What? So what did he say? He said to Nanda Maharaj, I will come to see my relatives. Now let's go. No, I will come. And he stayed behind. And in fact, he never ended, well, for quite some time. It's going to take some 60, 70 years to fulfill that promise. Instead of coming back to Vrindavan, he proceeds. He goes to Dwarka, and there are reasons, of course, reasons why. Anyway, he had already transferred all the Yadavas, the residents of Mathura, you could say, shifted them to Dwarka for safekeeping, for security reasons. And at some point, after battling with Jarasandha 17 times, now this was 18th time, Lord decided to, enough is enough. His routine business of battling year after year after year. I better do something more important, something that I like to do. And for those reasons, I'm going very slow. So, Dwarkadhish ki, not Dwarkadhish ki jai. Who ki jai? He is leaving. He is leaving. Who is leaving? Krishna Balaram is leaving. What did Jarasandha say? Ranchod, Ranchod, Ranchod. He's leaving the battle. He's afraid of me. He's leaving the battle. Jarasandha. But then this Ranchod Raya ki. All the residents of Dwarka, of course, welcomed Krishna and Balaram. And then Lord stayed on and on and on. He got married, not just one marriage, tons of marriages, 16,000 and not only 16,000 and not only 16,100, but 16,108 marriages. So that kept Lord busy. And he had children, and he had children have children. Family, anyway. This is storytelling, but there's no time for that right now. So while that was happening in Dwarka, the residents of Vrindavan well, you are residents of Vrindavan. I need not tell you what residents of Vrindavan, well, that time, 5,000 years ago, were going through and thinking. Yeah, quickly we could say, Shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name. In the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. There was intense separation, and the whole world was like there was nothing in the world. It was all vacant. Without the Lord, there is nothing in the world. So they were missing him like anything. So there were exchange of letters, communication between Dwarka and Dwarkavasis and Brajavasis, especially Krishna, corresponding, writing to all the residents of Vrindavan. Communication was going on. But the postman, one time, the postman carrying the letters, the post, he used to do padayatra, he used to walk from Dwarka to Vrindavan, Vrindavan to Dwarka, back to Dwarka, doing padayatra. And things were moving very slow. Lord decided to have some speed post at the speed. So the postmen were given horses to ride on, and then communication was going a little faster between Krishna and the residents of Vrindavan. Anyway, that is also another point. Residents of Vrindavan were desiring to have an audience, well, through social media or through the internet, or some communication was happening, but it's never satisfying. There's nothing like physical meeting and touching and embracing, and online you cannot do Mahaprasad. You could do a lot of things. Could you take prasad together? Bhumte bhojayate shaiva shadvidam priti lakshanam. Is that possible? So these things were not happening. Communication was on, so it was not satisfying. And Lord knew this. And of course, Lord also was not only residents of Vrindavan, Brajavasis, you back there, you're okay? Haribol. Because I'm not looking at you, you may take advantage. Hari Hari. But Lord also was missing Brajavasis. Right? Does only devotee misses the Lord? Or Lord also misses his devotees? What do you think? Is it only devotees who love the Lord? Is it only one-way traffic? Or it's two ways? Devotee loves and Lord loves the devotees. So Lord also was missing. And he was also breaking brains, thinking, how could I meet them, be with them? Maybe both the parties were thinking, I want to see you, like George Harrison also expressing those sentiments. I want to be with you. I want to see you. Both parties wanted to see each other, be with each other. And Lord was thinking, how could this be managed, materialized? And thank you, Surya Grahan, sun eclipse key. Sun eclipse came to their rescue. And Lord made the plan. I will go to Kurukshetra, take a holy dip on sun eclipse day. There is a famous Surya Kund in Kurukshetra, for your information. And lots of pious folks come there to take a holy. I will also go. So Lord sent the message. You may like to also join me in Kurukshetra. If you do not mind, you do not mind, please come to Kurukshetra. No, we love to come. Love to come to Kurukshetra. Of course we don't mind. And so that is what has happened finally. All the residents, I don't know whether all or most of them, riding on their chariots. Of course, one chariot looks like the Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra sitting in one chariot, and Vasudeva, Devaki, and Rohini also, and the ministers, and in fact, all the queens have come and arrived in Kurukshetra, and the residents of Vrindavan, they came in riding in the chariots, and residents of Vrindavan, they traveled to Kurukshetra riding in what? Did they do air yatra? Yes, some clues, what you could think, possible way, mode of transportation, or bullock cart. Good, thank you. When they, from Gokul they had come one time. From Gokul, all the residents of Gokul, they shifted from Gokul to Vrindavan. They went to Chatikara. How did they travel? An ox cart. Even Prabhupada wanted to travel from Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple to Govardhan. How? Lokaḥ, ox cart. So they traveled that way and arrived. And there's a great meeting taking place in Kurukshetra. And that is where we are at here in the Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 82, and all these verses and more to come, even a few more chapters to go. And the great union is taking place. And, not only residents of Dwarka and Kurukshetra, the Vrindavan have come, but residents of Hastinapur and this Pur and that Pur and Vidarbha and from all over they have come to, and they're all meeting. In the center of all this is, I was thinking, oh, best of the kings, as Sukadeva is addressing. Everyone was simply amazed to see the transcendental form of Lord Krishna. That's the crux of the matter. Everyone has come, everyone is meeting, reunion happening, and they're all taking darshan of each other and everyone around. But one person is very, very special that they all would like to have his darshan. And that is Krishna. Simply amazed to see the transcendental form of Lord Krishna, the abode of all opulence and beauty, standing before them with his consorts. And the seeing each other, or even embracing each other. Not only that, what is mostly happening here is they're talking to each other, bodhiyantah parasparam. There's so many in Kurukshetra, which is known for Song of God, Bhagavad Gita, Lord's speech. So many speeches and dialogues and samvads are going to happen right now, right here in Kurukshetra. As we are reading, Vasudeva is addressing Kunti and this one, that one. Draupadi is going to be interviewing all the queens here. All the sages, as the rishis and munis assembled there, they are all going to be coming over to the tent of Krishna and Balaram, and they are going to have audience and dialogue with Krishna Balaram in Kurukshetra. And one of the amazing dialogue or meeting is going to be also taking place between all the gopis headed by Radha Rani, and this is happening in a secluded place with Krishna. And there's so much guhyamakhyati prachati is happening. Oh, you are the same Krishna, and we are the same gopis or Radha Rani, but there's something is not the same. We wish we had met where? On the banks of Jamuna. We wish we were all there in Vrindavan Dham ki jai. So, amongst all these different talks and dialogues, one of them was Rohini addressing I suppose, or I had read or heard, she was addressing the residents of Dwarka in a tent. And she was going to share her experience when Krishna was taken away to Mathura from Vrindavan. Rohini was very much in Vrindavan. And she knew, she had first-hand experience of what Brajavasis and herself was going through, how they were missing and feeling separation from Krishna. The residents of Vrindavan were experiencing as he was away from Vrindavan, he was in Mathura, and then what to speak of, he goes even further away to Dwarka. So she was sharing that experience, and before doing that, she wanted everyone to hear this, except who? Krishna and Balaram. So they had delegated, you Subhadra, because you do not sleep. You will be a good guard. Huh? You will be at the entrance of this pandal or tent. And if Krishna Balaram comes this way, just send them away. Make sure they do not enter and they do not hear me speaking whatever I am going to speak. So, for sure, so anyway, Rohini takes the microphone. Maybe she did Om Namo Bhagavate or whatever. And she is talking of what residents of Vrindavan were going through. She said a lot, which I'm not going to say. And then in the middle, as he was talking, for sure Krishna and Balaram had come at the entrance. And they also, was curious, it was a big gathering. What are they doing? What are they talking about? Children are always curious, anxious. And there was Subhadra. She did try to do her duty and send Krishna and Balaram. Hey, no, please, please. No, don't come here. But they are big brothers, big boys, big brothers. Hey, shut up. Or maybe, we'll give you some gifts, some bribing, something happened. No, we are not going inside. We'll stand outside here. No one will notice our presence. No, please, Subhadra, So they had their spot. And as Rohini was talking and talking and talking, living entity has love for Krishna, right? Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karauda Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Sadhya ka bunoy Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karauda. Living entities have in them right now love for Krishna. It is dormant, but it could be certainly revived by Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, by hearing. By hearing about the Lord, devotees, living entities' love for the Lord is aroused. Now the same principle also is applicable to the Lord also. I think we talked about this in the very beginning. Does Lord also has love for the living entities? Yes. I think the difference is really living entity has love for the Lord, but then they forget that love and loving dealings they don't get into, and their love becomes dormant. But that is not the case with the Lord. Lord has a love for the living entities, devotees, and so and He never forgets the devotees. But here what we are seeing is, as Krishna and Balaram, because it's something that they probably did not know this, which Rohini was sharing. You know, Rukmini had one time said to Dwarkadish, "My dear Lord, you know, there is something that only Radharani knows, or gopis also know, that you do not know." And Lord says, "What? What are you talking about? I am Abhigya Swarat." You have not read Bhagavatam? Read the first verse of Bhagavatam. It says, I am introduced there as what? Abhigya. Abhigyam. I am knower of everything. Omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. And you say, I do not know something. What are you talking about? Yes, yes, I know you do not know. I know you do not know what only Radharani knows, or residents of Vrindavan know in general. And there is when their vipralamba state of mind and heart and consciousness, when they're separated from you, they're away from you, or they go through the torture and they are on fire, their life is on fire, they're burning in the intense separation of fire of intense separation. This is something that you do not know. So what Rohini was talking there in Kurukshetra, those things even Krishna and Balaram did not know. That was not part of his experience, his knowledge. So as Krishna and Balaram, and then Subhadra also, kept hearing all that Rohini had to say, Krishna could not remain as Krishna. Balaram did not remain Balaram. Subhadra was no more normal Subhadra. They become Krishna. They become Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra of Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. They assumed that form. Your eyes are, big eyes. Like when you hear and hear, I think some of you are hearing with attention and great, you're curious to maybe know more. And each of this item is really, making your this eye opener for you also, or whenever it's some item there's eye opener, and each time you hear additional item, that what does it do? Opens your eyes. This eye opener, and opens your eye, and opens your eyes, and opens your eyes. So that is what has happened. Hari Hari. And as if Lord is saying, no, enough is enough. Oh, no, don't say more anymore. I don't want to hear. So his ears are sinking in. And one of the symptoms, these are the symptoms of ecstasy or sattvic vikar, bhav. A lot of things happen, right? You become stunned. You become motionless, just like a pillar. So Lord has become like that. You know, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, who is also Krishna Jai Gaur, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. He also was undergoing these transformations. His body would not remain the same. During last 12 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at Jagannath Puri, as he was staying in Gambhira, mostly associating with Swarup Damodar and Ramanand Rai, and doing all this talk. Of course, here in Kurukshetra, Rohini is talking, they are hearing. But similar talks, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear kind of day and night from Swarup Damodar and Ramanand Rai, and he was hearing so many Chandidas, poetry of Chandidas and Vidyapati and Hari Geeta Govind of Jayadev Goswami. What are the topics? What are the themes? Krishnadas, the Krishna Karnamrit, Bhagavatam also, 10th canto and other cantos. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's even said, somehow he would even break his head against the wall of that Gambhira, little wall, some wall, and he would be bleeding. Or sometimes, in the mood of Radharani, he would put on sari and looking like Radharani, is in the mood of missing Krishna, and he would end up in Singhadwar, and finally they would find him. His body was not even recognizable. Is he the same? What? Look at this. The Chaitanya Charitamrita described that the last chapter, he would become kurmakar, like a tortoise. Only shell is visible, and tortoise withdraws. Kurmo angani va sarvashaha, kurmo angani va sarvashaha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also withdrawing his limbs within, or they would check out holding his hand and it has come out of the socket. There's no more joint. And his eyes are wide open, and they are like that. They're golden fish. Gauranga becomes golden fish. As he had entered the ocean all night long, he was a stambha. like a motionless, his eyes wide open. And Jagannath, Swami, Jagannath has no eyelids. His eyes are always open. Well, we see that, and because of his love for his devotees, he wants to embrace them, he wants to pick them up. So when you take darshan of Jagannath, only thing that is visible are the hands. Two hands are extended and only hand part, this part from elbow forward, as if Lord is giving signal, yes, come, boy, come. I want to have you, I want to embrace you, I want to kiss you, I want to touch you, I want to hold you tight in my... So when King Indradumna he was a great devotee of Nila Madhav. Finally he had found Vidyapati, his minister, had found him. But then Nila Madhav had become a Daru Brahma. He disappeared, his form was no more and took a form of a wood, transcendental log. And Indradumna was told, you will find me, Daru Brahma you will find, and you could make my deity out of. So he found at some point in future, and as he was trying to make deities from this Daru Brahma, it was not easy, it was all transcendental. Carpenter after carpenter, they came and they went disappointed. Their instruments were breaking, and finally one managed to come, but he said, I need some time, don't disturb me. And if you did disturb, then I will stop my work. And so that is what happened. King was so anxious to have the deity form of the Lord so that he could install and worship and do all his manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. But then as he opened the door and he found the three deities, and when he looked at these deities, oh, what? How am I going to worship these forms? They're deformed, they're not beautiful, they're, could I say ugly? How could I worship them? It's incomplete also. And he was wondering what to do, and then comes Narayana. Narayana, who has come? Narad Muni come. Hey, what's the matter, King Indradumna? Don't you see? I meant to have deities, beautiful forms of the deities for installation and worship, but see this state of affairs here. And Narad Muni said, you fool or something. No, these deities are more than complete. Please take darshan. Maybe I wanted to say that. So when we take darshan, I don't know whether I will be able to say more what I'm about to say now, but let's see. That when you take darshan of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, what? We take darshan, right? Yes? We take darshan? We take darshan? Darshan means, well, simply we could say seeing. So what are we seeing? Or what Lord is showing is what we should be seeing, but maybe we miss the point. A lot of times we miss the point. So when we take darshan of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, what we see is Lord's love for His devotees. Sadhavo hridayam mayyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham. This is in the episode of the Ambarish Maharaj, and he was offended and all that. And then towards the end of that episode, Lord makes this statement, Sadhu, 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 Sadhu. Sadhu is in my heart, and I am in Sadhu's heart. Sadhu hridayam mayyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham. Madanyat te na jananti, Lord says more. Besides me, they do not know anyone else, neither they are interested to know anyone else but me. And what about myself? There is also the same case with myself. Aham, naham, managapi, naham, naham tebhyo managapi. He said, what happens to the, devotees, they do not know anyone else but me and myself also. For me also, there's no one else for me but my devotees. And I also do not think about but my devotees. So this thought is on the mind of Krishna. And he's thinking of his loving devotees, his love for his devotees. This is all manifested, and this is the darshan Krishna is giving when he is assuming the form of Jagannath. This is what we are. Lord is showing this. So he showed this in Kurukshetra that time. And so when Ratha Yatras were taking place during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, this was a great festival. Most favorite festival of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is which one? Ratha Yatra. Mahotsava ki. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be there right in the front of Jagannath. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a description. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in a mood of Radha Rani there. Krishna is there in the chariot at Jagannath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Rani right in the front. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radha Rani is thinking and also speaking the way Radharani was thinking and talking to Krishna in Kurukshetra. Oh, you are the same Krishna, I am the same Radharani, but something is not the same. Those thoughts were from Kurukshetra. Now during the Ratha Yatra, the beginning of Ratha Yatra, these are the thoughts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Radharani. And we are meeting after a long time. How long? 60, 70, 80 years have passed. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Radharani is thinking, now let me see, does he still remember me? Does he still love me as before? Let me check out. So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? He goes behind, on the side first and behind the chariot. If he doesn't care, doesn't remember, doesn't love me anymore, he will just carry on with the procession. But that did not happen. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani was not visible in the front, immediately chariot stops. And of course, all those chariot pullers are using all their strength to pull. Pull the chariot, pull the Haribo, Haribo, pull the chariot with all their strength, And the chariot is not budging an inch. Chariot is not pulled by the strength of the pullers of the chariot, but by the will of Jagannath. Whether moving forward, stopping, slowing down, this all depends on Jagannath Swami. So as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not in the vicinity or invisible, immediately chariot stops. And then, okay, Radharani is thinking, maybe I'm the cause of the chariot stopping, I'm the cause. He was already behind the chariot. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? He's putting his head, touching the chariot from behind, and he gave a little push, and immediately chariot started running. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. And he comes in the front. He's in front of Jagannath Swami, and the procession continues. And I'll just quickly say this, that residents of Vrindavan had gone to Kurukshetra with the determination or sankalp, you might want to say, that this time, as we catch up with Krishna, meet Krishna, we will not let him go back to Dwarka. We'll bring him to. We'll bring him to. We'll bring him to where? Navandham ki. So that time, of course, Lord gave another promise. While leaving Vrindavan, he had promised, Ayase just now coming. From Mathura, he also had told to Nanda Maharaj and residents of Vrindavan, yes, I will come to see my relatives, but not now. And the third time, Kurukshetra, he's going to say, well, I have few more demons to kill. They are on my hit list. It's not all over. This vinashaya sadhiskritam business is not over, so more duty. So when that is over, I will come, but not now. So this time, residents of Vrindavan had to return empty-handed, empty pocket, empty-hearted, empty hearts. So what they could not do, bring Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan, but now in Kurukshetra and in Jagannath Puri, During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's days, all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are, who are they? Who are they? They all are residents of Vrindavan. They are all, they all have descended, right? Whole spiritual world, whole Golokera Vaibhav Leela Prakasha Karila. So they are pulling the chariot during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. And they are bringing him to Gundicha temple, right? Chariot terminates at Gundicha temple. And Gundicha temple, that is where, yes, Sundarachal. There's a Nilachal in Jagannath Puri. That's where he stays most of the time, or say 51 weeks of the year he is there in Nilachal. And they pull the chariot and they bring him to Gundicha, which is Sundarachal in Jagannath Puri. And this Gundicha is Vrindavan Dham. And they all bring him to Vrindavan. So what had not become possible during that manifest Leela, bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan, that desire of Brajabasis was fulfilled. Or Krishna ends up keeping his promise. Yes, I will come. Let's go now. Let's go to Vrindavan. And they're pulling the chariot. They're bringing him to Gundicha, which is Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. So all these festivities are also ahead of all of us. Gundicha Marjan and Netrotsav and Ratha Yatra Mahotsav. It's time to remember Jagannath, Baldev Subhadra ki. Yeah, it's remembering, it is same, remembering Krishna Balaram here or Subhadra here. What is to be especially remembered is how much love Lord has for His devotees. And that should be amazing, and that should be eye-opener for us. That should be. As Lord's eyes were opened, and they stayed opened all the time. Jagannath never closes his eyes. He has no eyelids. He's just amazed. So likewise, if we could kind of wake up amazed and stunned by hearing Lord's love for us, for living entities, His devotees. So this is time for Jeev Jago. Jeev Jago! Gora Chand Bole. Yeah, this is all possible also because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made this understanding possible. Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet. By the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet. Something that is very difficult to accomplish becomes damn easy by the grace of Gauranga. So this is this Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. If anybody really understands Jagannath, Ratha Yatra, the mood, this, that, only Gaudiya Vaishnavas know this. The rest of the world has no much clue about these matters, and it doesn't matter for them. It doesn't matter for them. Hari Hari. Gaur Premanande. Okay? Anything else you want to say? Or only Mahaprasade? Govinde. I understood your preference. Rio. Thank you.